Let's go.
What a lovely day!
Andy, there's a whole world out there. Jump in.
Can you dig it?
Yeah.
You must always pay strict attention.
I was just completely enamored by it the entire time.
Dude, he did not have to go that hard.
I know, man. Isn't it wild?
The Jared Cast.
So it begins.
His son's name was Sonny.
He just like space, man.
In a movie about the moon, the main character's son is named Sonny. I love that so much.
Oh,
welcome. Welcome to the Jared Cast, where we talk about the latest Roland Emmerich film, Moonfall. My name is Jared A., short for Uncommon. Here today with me is the other Jared Lombardo. Jared L., short for Lombardo. How you doing today, Jared L.?
I'm good. I'm a little sleepy. I got back in town yesterday, watched this movie, listened to too much Kendrick. Now here we are. But I'm doing well. I'm excited to talk about whatever the fuck this was.
Yeah, I have no idea what to make of it.
Yeah.
I do know what to make of Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I'm only halfway through it, but so far so great, man. Really good stuff. You've listened to it a couple times now. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic, man. I think it's up there with Good Kid and To Pimp a Butterfly for me. I'm a bit of a damn not lover but not hater,
Right?
and I definitely think it exceeds that, which means it hit my expectations. I was like, as long as it's as good as Damn, I'll be satisfied, and so we're doing good.
Yeah. Did We Cry Together make you cry? Because it made me cry.
It fucking it hits hard, man.
I didn't know freaking Zola was gonna be on the album. That was awesome.
I immediately looked up. I was like, they must have had an actress doing this because she's killing it way too hard in the dramatic sense. And to see it was Zola, I was fucking hyped.
Yeah, shout out Taylor Page, who's not in this movie,
Unfortunately.
unfortunately. But on the bright side, though, there's Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. There was a new episode of Atlanta, which was the funniest one so far. In my opinion.
I'm 2 behind now, so I got some catching up to do.
Yeah, the one before this, I forget what it's called, but it's my favorite of the season so far, episode 8.
Oh damn! Okay, so I got some good shit coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. And then there's a new season of Hacks and a new season of Barry going on at the same time. It's awesome. Yeah. It's a lot of great
the Calgary
TV.
Flames are winning their series.
Hell
Just
yeah.
Great news all around.
I know nothing about hockey.
Unfortunately, your Kings lost yesterday. So.
Oh, damn.
It's looking a little... No, not yet. I think it's 3-3. I think they're going Game 7. But
cool.
Anyways, Moonfall.
Moonfall.
Before we jump into that, we got a top 5. Surprise, surprise. We always do. This is... it's kind of relevant. There's alien tech in this movie.
Yeah.
I picked it before even watching it because I had a feeling that the aliens would pop up somewhere, and they did. It's we're doing top 5 aliens in movies, TV shows. If you're feeling wild, whatever you want. This one was very difficult. I had to shuffle some shit around a lot. So you want to get started?
Yeah, so my list, in order to narrow it down, because there are so many great aliens in so many great movies, I didn't choose species, I chose specific characters individual characters,
Mhm.
and that helped me a little bit. There are still a few missing that I was like, damn it, I wish I wasn't missing them, but I had to take them out for whatever reason.
Mhm.
Um, so my number five already appeared on the list, on my top three kaiju list, because
Ooh.
yeah, it's Slattern from Pacific Rim, the
Mhm.
final boss of the film. Uh, level category five kaiju, uh, with tentacle tails, four limbs, crazy huge jaw, and it's from another dimension. It's not from outer space, but it's from another dimension, so it counts. And they fight it on the bottom of the Pacific Ocean, and it's freaking rad. It's the most metal thing that Del Toro's ever done, and I love it. I love the design of Slattern, and I
Mhm.
love how, like, even after 2 hours of kaiju fighting, they still found one that they still were able to come up with one that was like scary, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah. Um, my number five has shifted a lot because originally it was something, and then I was like, that's for sure gonna be on Jared's list and probably like number one or two. So I'm not gonna steal his thunder and waste it on a number five. So I substituted it for the Cloverfield monster. Then I realized it technically came from the sea and is a product of like parallel timelines or something. So I don't even know if it's an alien. So I scratched that, and now we're gonna add maybe the most cliche pick, and that is E.T.
Mm.
There's just something magical about E.T.
Yeah.
Seeing like how to process just childhood and growing up through the eyes of an alien, and a very nice one at that. It's a magical thing. It's a magical movie. I think the movie still holds up pretty well. The reason that E.T. is only number five for me was it was never the most nostalgic Spielberg for me. I watched it like kind of late for some reason, and so it didn't quite have the initial like connection to my childhood. But that said, I love the little guy. He's a fantastic character, hilarious, and lovable all around. So number five is E.T. the extraterrestrial.
Yeah, man. Great choice. Excellent choice. Yeah, I feel like most of the people who are connected to that character are like elder millennials, or what's the one
Mhm.
before us, Gen X or
Yeah,
Gen Y? I don't remember.
something
But
like that.
yeah, ET did not make my list as well, but a fantastic pick.
Mhm.
Fantastic pick. My number four uh, has a great bond with humans, but is not the most friendly. Of course, I'm talking about Venom from Venom. Uh, I actually really like this movie. It's kind of garbage, but it's so charming, and like Tom Hardy's relationship with himself as Venom and as Tom Hardy is really fantastic. The way that Venom kind of messes around with Eddie's body is really interesting and funny, and they it's like a weird romance, and they expand on that in the second movie, where they have a kind of a rom-com breakup. Uh,
Ooh.
yeah, it's really entertaining and cool, and like, did you see the second one or the first
I
one?
haven't even seen the first one, no.
Okay. Mild spoiler alert. At one point, Venom goes to an underground Little Sims concert and sings Venom with her.
That's
It's
fucking fantastic.
it's pretty awesome. So Venom from the movie Venom, which is a much better movie than the second, but I still enjoyed the second. But yeah,
Mhm. Hell yeah. I guess I gotta see it. Maybe we do a Venom cast at some point. My number four is super eerie. It's a very out there movie. from a distribution house that we've talked about too damn much, and everybody's talked about too damn much. And I'm talking Laura from Under the Skin.
As soon as you said eerie, I was like, I knew it.
Yeah, yeah. It's just a fantastic character. I love the idea of aliens taking over human bodies by seduction, and the way they execute it is very surreal and abstract, and I love it. I think they do a fantastic job with it, and Scarlett Johansson absolutely kills it in this role. The half documentary side of it, where they would just get regular ass people to talk to her, is an insane move that I think pays off, and it kind of just makes this character creepier, and it makes you never want to have a one night stand. And so that's a good job. that's a damn good job. So my number 4 is Laura from Under the Skin.
An excellent pick. I love that character. My number 3 is the last superhero pick. Kind of. It depends on how you look at it. But yeah, man. Starro the Conqueror from the Suicide Squad. I thought they absolutely nailed Starro. Mild. I mean, the movie's been out for almost a year, so spoiler alert for the entire movie. But there is a giant starfish from space that almost kills the entire team, and it's fantastic. I love the look of Starro. It's very accurate to their original appearance in the I think 60s. Very very quirky, very very psychedelic design, but at the same time, like, it's really menacing because you could see because Starro has a very complicated past, a very interesting backstory, and a very very brutal way of taking over the world by latching onto people's faces and seeping into their skin and kind of making them part of his hive mind. But what I also really love about the character is when they die, you kind of feel bad for them, even though they've killed so many people. Like his last words were, "I was happy in space, looking at the stars." And it was all the humans' fault, just like torturing this poor thing. It was all specifically the U.S. government's fault. Yeah,
Isn't it always?
isn't it always?
Wasn't it there?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a great pick. I actually enjoyed that movie, despite being a superhero movie non-believer. And Starro was fantastic. It toes the line between like genuine and like just kind of corny enough to be in a Suicide Squad movie. And I think it's super well done.
That's James Gunn for you.
That's James Gunn for you. My number 3 is not corny, meant to be taken serious, and it's actually a dynamic duo that I put in this one. But you see them individually, but it's rare. They're kind of come as a package deal. And for me, this one is all about the care and design that went into them. Some of the most beautiful looking aliens in any movie that I can think of, besides Scarlett Johansson. And that is Abbott and Costello in Arrival, the heptapod duo.
Oh, took me a second. I was like, I forgot that they gave them those nicknames. So I thought you were just literally talking about Abbott and Costello.
They're alien. You don't remember? They came out the third album. It was wild. But no, the heptapods in Arrival. The fact that you don't see their full body for most of the movie is fantastic. And then when you do, the reveal is insane. The way they write and communicate is super visually striking, and everything about it is just gorgeous to look at, and shrouded in mystery, not just fog. And so I just love the execution of it. A lot of the movie kind of hinges on it, because for 10 minutes at a time you'll be staring at blank fog waiting for a bony hand looking thing to come on in. and I love it. I think it's a fantastic movie, fantastic design, fantastic aliens. Number three, the singers Abbott and Costello.
Excellent pick. I freaking love Arrival, man. I need to watch it again for sure.
Yeah, same.
Shout out Denis and Amy Adams, man. My number two is an interesting alien. They're not made of flesh and bone, but of shape-shifting metal. Of course, I'm speaking of the Transformers, and of course, I am specifically picking Bumblebee from the movie Bumblebee. I think, as much as I love Optimus Prime, Peter Cullen is, the most iconic voice of all time, in animation at least. But yeah, man, there's just something really nice about the Bumblebee movie. The teen kind of Breakfast Clubby drama didn't really work for me, but the relationship between Bumblebee and Haley Steinfeld I thought was absolutely beautiful. Better than Bumblebee and Sam Witwicky in the first movie, and which is a lot I could say about that. But yeah, man, Bumblebee's heroism, his bravery, his just ability to stand to his desire to stand up for people who are bullied and kind of give them a place in this world. Yeah, man, that's a great alien. Love Bumblebee.
Yeah, I totally forgot that the Transformers were aliens. So
Yeah.
you slipped one out from under me. Speaking of Haley Steinfeld, though, I recently watched a movie called Barely Lethal, starring
Oh.
her, and it's fucking terrible and 100% worth a watch.
So I've heard.
It's beautiful, man. It's a fantastic film. A little tangent. My next two are pretty cliche, but cliche for a damn good reason. Because they're both two of the greatest horror movies of all time,
Yep.
and two of the greatest, honestly, movies of all time. And so my number two is going to be The Thing from The Thing. Yeah, namely Carpenter's The Thing. I think that it's kind of the default that you're talking about, but just in
Right.
case there's confusion. Yeah, man, it's just terrifying to me. I love this movie. The practicals are incredible, and I think it's probably my favorite shape-shifting alien that exists. I think its camouflage ability is fantastic. The way it will react to fire, freak the fuck out, and just panic, and you don't. When animals are panicked, nothing good happens. And it's everything about it is just perfect for the movie, and perfect for building suspense that you need from this movie. It's the cornerstone of it, and it's one of my favorite movies ever. And so, how could it not make the list? You know.
Exactly. I love The Thing. I feel like we've picked so many like things from The Thing in our
Yeah.
top fives.
But we've yet to talk about it outside of the bracket, I think.
Yeah. Do you remember where it placed? Was it like 3 or 4? Or was it lower than that?
Definitely, I think definitely top 5, but I don't remember.
Yeah. Oh well. My number one is Stitch. I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like it was kind of obvious for me, but yeah, Experiment 626. I love this character. He's a killer who becomes a dog, and I think, or becomes someone's best friend, learns how to be a member of the family, finds some kind of redemption by doing the opposite of what he's programmed to do. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I think the scene where he discovers surfing is just so good. One of the best moments in animation history. Um, Seeing him hula dance and impersonate Elvis. Like, he's not a shapeshifter, but he might as well be because of all the antics that he does.
Because of the way them hips move.
Exactly. Yeah, I've talked a lot about this movie. I think it's Disney's crowning achievement, and Stitch from Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, that was my number 5, but I was like, I gotta give that one to Jared. There's no way I'm stealing your thunder on it.
Yeah, it's all good.
My number 1 is one that we've talked about endlessly on this, and that's the Xenomorph from Alien. It's the scariest alien. That's all it comes down to it. Its design is so sleek and metallic, but still like organic in nature, and I love that. The way it will sulk around the background is endlessly terrifying, and everything about it was a perfect execution. So honestly, there's not much to say. It's the fucking Xenomorph. You can picture it. Of course, it's gonna be on the list.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was our number 1 horror movie. Maybe my favorite sci-fi movie as well, or one of them.
Yeah,
absolutely great pick.
yeah.
I was sad I couldn't fit both the Predator and the Alien in this one, but it's all good. It's all good.
Unfortunate. Yeah. Also, I looked up where the Thing went out. It was like round 3 or something, but it went out the same time as Hereditary, The Shining, and Halloween. So not bad company to be a part of at all.
True. But not better than Shaun of the Dead.
But not better than it got eliminated by Shaun of the Dead too.
I remember that.
Yeah, can't top Edgar Wright.
So good.
Oh.
Alrighty.
You know what else didn't top Edgar Wright? Moonfall.
Is it Moonfall? Yeah.
It is Moonfall. But before you find out why, besides it being a movie about the moon falling to Earth, we got a bad review. We got a poorly written review of movies that we're watching because it's funny and it makes me laugh and stuff. This one was given a 2 out of 10. Titled "A Bit Intense at Certain Point, but Overall Full of Annoying Overuse Scene." Another big letdown. And I'll give you one guess. Give you one guess on the author here.
So good. I love this man so much.
This was one that I immediately was like, he must have reviewed it, so I gotta just search his profile. And lo and behold, he did.
Yeah.
This film starts with the video footage about the moon landing and 3 astronauts having mission at space station scene. As turn out, this film is about 3 astronauts, Jocinda, Brian, and Casey, need to eliminate the resurgence of an AI on the moon to save Earth. Entire film full of boring conversation and annoying overuse scene, such as overuse of the walking scene, overuse of the searching scene, overuse of the arguing scene, overuse of the calling name scene, overuse of the starting scene, overuse of the riding motorcycle scene, overuse of the talking on the phone scene, overuse of the news broadcasting on the TV scene, overuse of the making speech scene, make the film unwatchable. At the end, Casey sacrificed himself to save the Earth. That's it. Another disappointed film.
Disappointed film. I love that.
Yeah. It's the little details that makes Quinn Chow a legend on this podcast.
Yeah, it's crazy how, like, even though we both don't like this movie, I still disagree. Overuse of the walking scene? You can't walk?
You're not allowed to walk or argue.
Bro, come on.
Of the calling names scene. What is that? You can't say people's name either.
I guess. I can't even think of him.
Yeah, the only name calling I could think of is when they used people's actual names.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, oh, God bless Quinn Chow.
God bless Quinn Show and God bless Roland Emmerich, I guess. Goodness gracious. Do you want to start or you want me to start?
Oh, you could start. You seem more heated about it than I do.
I'm not heated.
You seem annoyed.
I just can't believe I put off listening to the new Kendrick album to watch this.
Hey, that's on you. You knew this was coming.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Um, yeah, Moonfall follows Jacinda Fowler, Brian Harper, and Casey Houseman as they have to solve the mystery of why the moon is falling to Earth. Um, and they discover that there's an alien presence inside the moon that's causing it to fall to Earth. This movie, like many other Roland Emmerich movies, is a disaster movie. Features a lot of kind of what's been coined since he rose in popularity as disaster porn. Being the famous director of Independence Day from 1996, The Day After Tomorrow from 2004, 2012 from 2009.
There's definitely a curve happening here in quality.
Yeah. I don't hate every movie by this dude. I do think Independence Day is overrated, but I actually really like The Patriot with Mel Gibson. I think that's one of the best Jason Isaacs performances. I think it's one of the best Heath Ledger performances in that movie. But for this one, yeah, I think it's just as bad, if not worse, than Independence Day Resurgence or 2012 or Godzilla 1998. Um, it's real bad, and it's it's almost too obvious that it's his fault. He wrote and directed this film. Uh, However, um, this like I didn't like it, but I need a sequel. I need
The
a
setup at
sequel
the end is
because because the second hour of this movie is so freaking bananas that I can't give it a 0. I can't
yeah.
give it a but it's bad enough that I can't give it a 4. So I'm gonna go 3.8.
Mm, yeah, the balls to obviously set up a sequel in a movie like this is fantastic, and so I want it.
I looked it up. It's a planned trilogy. Like he wants to make a trilogy.
Let's go. I need Space Mama. Um, yeah, I mean it's not good. It's not. There. That's just a fact. It's not a good movie. But I knew what I was getting into. I saw his filmography, and I knew, okay, this is gonna be another 2012, but make it space. Um, and so I enjoyed it. I had a fun time just turning my brain off and laughing at this movie. So I'm definitely going to be in the negatives on this because I enjoyed myself. I had a good time watching it despite its many flaws. But like they're running like fucking Mario double jumping on top of a roof because the moon's gravity makes them jump and walk higher. Like, how could I not love that shit? Um, it's terrible in all the best ways. They have all this. It seems like one of those movies. It's like, okay, we'll find out like scientifically what would happen, and then do the worst possible things. But the only thing they looked at were like, yeah, the tides would probably be affected, right? And that's the danger. It's just the water. But I love it, man. It was fun. Not like The Room fun, but it was still a good time watching and laughing at it. So I will give it a -6. I'll give it a.
Very
I
cool.
enjoyed it. It reached the halfway point of being a fun bad movie, but it's not like blowing my mind at the bad department either.
For sure. Yeah, I feel the same. I I hope that because the movie only grossed it only grossed like something like 48 million against a budget of 136 to 146 million.
Yeah.
Um, we have no idea what those are that's the budget estimate. It is the most expensive independent film of all time. Um,
Which is
which
not a
is
title you want to have.
which is insane. Yeah. Have you seen his other movies, and like did you grow up with Roland Emmerich the way I did? Or?
Yeah, like I had seen Independence Day, Day After Tomorrow, 2012. I think I saw The Patriot, but I barely remembered if I did.
Yeah.
So I was at least familiar with his style. I wouldn't say I grew up on him, but when they came out, I would watch them to kind of laugh along with them.
Yeah. Is he such a it's interesting because I don't like his films, but he's been such
Hmm.
a fixture in my life. I acutely remember like one of the earliest movies I've ever seen was Godzilla 1998 on my TV at our old house, and like I remember like my dad had the flu, and that was like the first time I saw my dad sick. Um, and then I felt like bad for Godzilla because I was like really invested in the movie because I was like 3, and and yeah, man, it was weird. It was a trip for sure.
Hmm.
Like I didn't like he'll like so many of these movies were movies that are just fixtures of my life, but like it's weird that he's been that his work has been so like I don't know present, even though I'm not a fan. I
I'm
don't know how
surprised you're
this.
not a fan because I feel like you would just like the action that he gives.
I'll get into why in a bit,
Hmm.
but yeah, like uh it's just weird. Like I remember Day After Tomorrow coming out and that being like everybody was like the best movie ever, and then like we all grew up and realized like oh they were running away from global warming. They
Yeah.
the bad guy was global warming. Um, uh, yeah, but I digress. It's interesting. Like I see a lot of the things in his formula that are that appear and they do appear in this movie, but they don't feel as fun. Like a
Mm,
lot of his movies show a lot of the same values, like the individual heroism over the bureaucracy and kind of going over the bureaucracy's heads.
mm,
Um, the the formula the formula is like so deep that he's kind of created his own system of cliches. Like there's always like a parent estranged from their kid.
yup.
There's always a divorce that there's always a divorce somewhere, and then they
Mhm.
become friends again by the end, or
Yeah.
sometimes even lovers by the end.
One
Um,
good egg in the U.S. government that fights against the man and helps the team.
right, right. It's like Michael Bay for Democrats. That's kind of what Roland Emmerich is. And like I'm not even joking about that. White House down, the
Yeah.
bad guys are literally Republicans. It's
Yeah.
so stupid. It's so stupid. Or no, they're terrorists hired by Republicans. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like and they also feature like a lot of disaster porn as they've been so crudely coined in the critic circles. Um, but what did you think about that part of it? Because all of his movies feature cities getting destroyed, feature nature getting destroyed, feature
Mhm.
multiple millions of people getting killed. What did you think about the disaster angle in this movie?
Uh, it's not. It's not good. The CGI is terrible. Like it
Mhm.
doesn't. At this point, if you're dropping that much money, it should look better. Like that's just we have the technology to make it do that. So I think it looked pretty bad. Um, but I was mostly just laughing at the people more so than the disaster. Because
Right.
like the disaster stuff is, I think you kind of nailed it by saying it's the same formula but less fun. Um, I don't think like this is as laughable as like 2012 was. I don't think
Right.
it was like that level. But the the reactions to it and just like everything else happening at the same time makes up for it. As far as like disaster movies go, it's not as entertaining as some of his other movies, and it's not as like laughable and cheeky as like a Sharknado would be. But it's enough in that pocket that it didn't like I wasn't rolling my eyes in a bad way. I was still rolling my eyes in a good way.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's such a weird it's in such a weird pocket of likability for me.
Yeah. I remember watching when like New York was getting destroyed and like and I was so worried that he would destroy the New World Trade Center. And
Because he would.
when the water like just misses the World Trade Center, I stood up and I was like, "Yes, thank you,
Oh my
Jesus.
God.
Please don't do that, please." Um, but yeah, yeah, I think you're onto something there. Like even the Day After Tomorrow in 2012, like they had some conviction behind them. Like
Yeah.
they were still kind of
They're
about something.
terrible, but like you get what he's going for.
Yeah, like they were kind of about, you know, uh, like 2012 was kind of about society and kind of about humanity, and Day After Tomorrow was kind of about the environment, and this movie tries to be about both, and it doesn't really work. And so when the world gets destroyed, you don't really feel anything. And I will say though, like some of the images where the moon is like bringing the water up, I think some of those looked pretty. Some of those looked cool. Some of the moments where they were trying to dodge rocks in space was fun.
Hmm.
And the overall design of the inside of the moon was interesting. I I wish they like took their time with it and kind of slowed down and like thought like, oh, maybe there is a better world, and then that they could have had a thesis of some kind.
Of
Um,
something.
like, oh, maybe we can actually use this. Maybe the link between humanity and technology isn't all bad. Because you kind of feel him like commenting on that.
Yeah. Yeah, especially in the tacky ass voiceover that just explains everything for like
Right.
10 minutes, like way too long. And of course it's like a child. Like it's so good. But like they're like, yeah, like this is the previous human race's like saving grace for you guys. And so you'd think that there would be like you'd hit that a little harder because like this is your humanity depends on this thing that your forefathers that they call them the forefathers, which is insane. Um, but the something that your forefathers built for you. But then they're like, technology is still bad. Fuck you.
Yeah, man. Um, yeah, we've seen, you know, we've seen people destroy the moon. We've seen people steal the moon in Despicable Me. But this like seeing people invade attack the moon, try to
Yeah.
save the moon. Um,
Both
and
in the same film.
pretty interesting. What'd you think about the whole like concept and
I
stuff?
love it. The concept is the reason to watch. It's the only thing that like would get butts in seats for this is
Yeah,
like the title is Moonfall and it's about the moon falling. Like that's all that's gonna bring people in because nobody's gonna come in, look at the cast and be like, yeah, this is gonna be like kind of insightful. Like this is gonna be good.
yeah,
No, you go because you're gonna watch the concept. And so like the execution of it, I liked. I think they keep the ridiculousness of it. They they do have a weird air of like, nah, conspiracy theorists are always right. Like every single one, probably right. Because
yeah,
even like the ridiculous, oh, I forget his friend's name. It's like Maui or something like that. But
yeah.
um, But even he was right about it being like a white dwarf star inside of the moon. Like they literally make it a point to make every single crazy person right in this movie, which is an insane move. But I think it keeps the tone of it enough that like I got what I wanted out of a movie about the moon falling to Earth. You know?
For sure, for sure. And
Yeah.
um, I didn't like his friends too much, but I liked Casey. I thought he was fine. I thought he was a charming lad. Uh, not quite as colorful as Woody Harrelson's character in 2012, but definitely like still adds like something to the movie. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's hard to um because yeah, but
Did you see
but
the original casting for Casey?
no.
It was Josh Gad.
Thank God. I would have hated this movie even more if it was.
Yeah, and
Sheesh.
Stanley Tucci was originally casted to be Michael Pena's character, the most forgettable man in this movie.
Bro, like, did they just forget about the stepdad? Like,
They literally kill him off screen. They like build him up. He's on screen for 5 minutes, and then they just leave him behind, and we're like, "Yeah, he didn't make it."
I'm so sorry. All right.
All right, let's head into this village. It's obviously dying. Oh, my favorite. I love Michael Pena because he's talented enough.
It's awesome.
He's whatever, but I've just loved him in every movie since Crash because the trailer for Crash says Academy Award winner and then like six different names that have the same title, Academy Award nominee, and then like six different names, and then it finishes with and Michael Pena. And that's just his ranking as an actor in my mind forever now.
Damn.
And
Oh,
this movie did that exact same thing. They're like, it's got the dude from Game of Thrones, that guy from The Conjuring, Halle Berry, remember her? And Michael Pena's here.
amazing, amazing. Yeah, outside the main three, he was probably my favorite character because the rest of them don't really have that much flavor.
Yeah, I hated the sun. I hated everything about the sun.
Su-
Sunny.
Sonny was a pill. Sonny was a pill, dude.
Yeah.
What the hell?
The second we had the cop chase reveal that it's his child, I'm like, I am not gonna like any scene that motherfucker's in.
And it's weird because like I don't mind Charlie Plummer. You know, he was good in Lean on Pete. Really good in Lean on Pete actually. Yeah. But I don't know, man. It was just weird. Donald Sutherland was in the movie for 2 minutes. That was crazy. What did you? The evil gingers were also fun.
Yeah, like weird, like trying to be like the country bumpkin gun toting type that takes advantage of everything,
Yeah.
but they just like show up, cause a minor inconvenience every time, and then go about their business. Like there's
Yeah.
never any like real danger. It's always just like whatever.
Yeah.
But I do like when they show up and Sonny fights him off with the gun. They have to make sure that Brian gets all the credit because he's like, "Where'd you get that gun?" He's like, "My father." It's so good. So I loved the scenes with the evil gingers for sure.
Yeah. They were so evil for no reason.
Yeah. What are we gonna do? Wipe our ass with it? Take a look around, man.
And they could have gotten to shelter. They could have gotten away from all the craziness.
Yeah, so
We need
many
that oxygen.
It's so good. I love this movie.
It's not good.
Yeah, like you could tell the big three like do a good job. You know
Yeah.
that the director was like, be these cartoony ass motherfuckers, and they did a good job with it.
Yeah.
But like everybody else, he's like, be this cartoony ass motherfucker. They're like, okay. So like
Yeah.
everybody else just feels even worse.
Yeah, man. And it's such a bummer too, because I don't think these people are bad actors, but they're just flying blind. They don't know
Yeah.
what's happening
They don't
around
have the
them,
experience to just be like, okay, I know what kind of movie this is.
or like they don't know what's happening around them because the entire thing is a green screen.
Yeah.
And uh and the script doesn't help at all. Like these are like I feel like a lot of the dialogue is just saying things that he thinks people are supposed to say in a crisis, but
Yep.
they're never something that someone would actually say when they're in danger.
No.
And so even though, yeah, I agree, there are faint glimpses of good performances by Patrick Wilson, Halle Berry, and John
Mhm.
Bradley. Um, they're, you know, the moments are few and far between because they're trying their best, but I hate what they're saying so much that I can't focus on how good they are or how engaged they are.
Yeah.
Uh,
My favorite from the ex-husband was the phone call with Halle Berry, where he was like, "I held up my end of the bargain, so you know." And then that's the whole conversation. Like they don't. There's no meat to it. You're saying potentially goodbye to a woman you were married to. It's just like, yeah, I did my thing. So see you. Bye.
I hope that actor gets another chance, man. That was
Yeah,
rough.
it
Um,
was.
um, yeah, I wish they leaned harder into the romance between Patrick Wilson and Halle Berry because like
Yeah.
they start off arguing about Toto. I'm like, this is cool. I like this. 37% on Rotten Tomatoes. They're talking about Toto. Like, why would they
Yeah.
give 30%? But it just is kind of left by the wayside, which was a bummer to me because
Oh, yeah.
you got two really great seasoned actors, and why not give them a chance to
If there's any movie to force a romance into, you might as well commit to this one because they hint at it immediately. They calls him work wife right away. Like
exactly.
you coulda just done it. I would have liked that more than the stuff with the kid getting out of jail because he went on a joyride once and now he's this hardened criminal.
Yeah. I also wish there was like an Independence Day style speech, because we kind of got that with the Alien, but not really. Like it didn't feel
Yeah.
like I was pumped up after it.
Yeah, even like Casey's John Bradley's good like goodbye speech. It's like just so nothing. He's like, people doubted me and they called me lame. Tell my mom, say hi to my mama.
And they're trying to do like the Star Trek thing with the glass and the hands, but they don't even say anything nice to each other. They're just they kind of do. They're like, "Thank you for believing in me,"
Yeah.
but it's not the same, man. Like,
No, nothing about it like hits the right strings.
oh man. What else did you enjoy about it?
Dude, I know everything. The I love the thing is AI, like the villain is AI.
Yeah.
But it's only made better by that speech with the child. Where he like back in the olden times there was and it goes on so long and the delivery is so bad the entire time because it's a kid. He's just reading like this paper you shoved in his face.
Yeah.
And so like everything about it was just fucking beautiful. But I don't hate the design of like the AR or AI mesh.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
but
cool.
like the rules it abides by are janky as fuck. Like if it was smart enough to take out or to target the human race and do all this, and it was smart enough to learn and become sentient, why the fuck does it only target electronics and biomatter in the same confined area? Just do the biological thing. Like, just target life and you're good. If you're
Yeah,
so smart, why are you so easy?
yeah. It's so dumb. Um,
Yeah.
and like it waits super long to kill Casey. Like I
Yeah.
they they totally could have won, but they needed that classic like "Hello boys,
Yeah.
I'm back"
Yo.
moment, where he looks at the green light. Um, yeah, I was hoping that Samuel Tarly would make it, because he was forbidden to die. He forbid him to die,
Yeah.
but he died.
Yep.
Boo-hoo.
Rip. But set him up to be the star of the sequel, so
Yeah.
we have work to do.
We scanned your consciousness? What?
When and how and why did you do it to his mom too?
Like, they didn't even.
He's not even the chosen one that you talk to. He's a
Yeah.
different man.
I'm so baffled, and I don't even know what to make out of some of it. Like, it's so out there and crazy and weird, but like, but not like weird in the way that I like. I don't know, but um, yeah. I'm almost left speechless by this thing. This is weird.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Just
I I do appreciate that this movie has the balls to like have lore. Like
yeah. Be
Moonfall
like
has mythology and lore in it. Like cool. I'm excited. What
they
what
have, we're doing the sequel if it comes out. I mean, the amount of money that they lost here, I have my doubts, but like we're doing it day one.
100%. 100%. Live watch along for its
Yeah,
Netflix premiere because Netflix is the only thing that would give this thing money.
yeah.
Um,
Fuck. The balls to have just the plot be Moon bad guy, but what if Moon good guy is beautiful.
so amazing. Okay. What would you want to see in part two and part three of the Moonfall trilogy?
Oh, that's tough. Cause I think I think the sequel will be like a war type movie of humans v AI. I think
Mm,
it's gonna be the AI we've created on Earth is joining that side, and I think it's gonna be that. I think I could definitely see it, and scanned consciousness John Bradley uh, is gonna be like the mastermind directing the people on what's left of Earth to what to do to fight the AI. I think that's all I want out of the sequel. Out of the third one, fucking who knows? Building a new moon.
yeah.
It's a drama about building the moon.
Yeah.
Because we're
Um,
still fine. The planet is still dead.
yeah.
Like the amount of asteroids that hit, the tides being like everything should just be gone.
Right, right. I agree. Um, so that's why my pitch for number two would be a little bit different. I would say
Oh, I think I know where you're gonna go. Sorry, go on.
I think what we've discovered with the moon being an actual spaceship is we haven't just discovered a key to saving and resurrecting life on Earth. We've discovered the most powerful weapon in the entire universe. And so every single nation will want to fight over this thing. And it's going to start a war amongst the people. And I'm going to call it World War Moon. And everyone's going to be fighting for control over the moon. And by the end, Patrick Wilson, or no, Halle Berry and Patrick Wilson will be holding hands and delivering a speech to all the nations. Halle Berry will have learned Mandarin by the point of this movie, and so she'll be able to speak to the Chinese audiences that the movie tried so hard to pander to.
Box office revenue from.
They tried so hard with The Babysitter. I'm like, man, I feel bad for this actress.
Yeah.
Like,
just being exploited just to tap into a market.
Yeah. And so by the end, humanity has united into a single global defense force that unites and controls the moon together. And by the third movie, we discover that the AI is still out there. And they're still trying to come at us because they're like, oh, there is intelligent life still, and it's here, and there's a moon. We're going to go attack it. And so in order to, and we are outgunned, outmanned, outnumbered, outplanned. And on top of that, we discover that the AI, because they didn't have any moons, they took over the sun. And so the AI corrupts Sonny and sends him messages. And they force Sonny to pilot the sun to try to destroy us. So I want both Patrick Wilson, I want Patrick Wilson, Halle Berry, and John Bradley to each pilot their own moons to fight the sun. I want that to happen.
The car chase experience is the big callback to.
Yeah, man.
Fuck, I'm here for it.
It's gonna be called just Battle Moon. One word, Battle Moon. Like Battle.
Too Moon, Too Furious.
Yeah, man. Moonfall, World War Moon, and Battle Moon. That's my pitch rolling.
No, it would be World War Moon 2 Battle Moon.
Yes. So Roland, I'm gonna cut out everything from this episode except that pitch, and if you need an extra writer,
yeah,
I got you, bro. I got you.
Oh my god. Or you could call it World War Moon 2 Sunrise, but SON.
Horrible. Horrible.
Fuck. I would watch the fuck out of both of those, honestly.
Oh man, I was thinking about it while I was watching this movie because I was like, I couldn't do any. I was like, what do I take notes on?
Yeah, dude. Have you scrolled through the trivia page for this movie?
No.
There are gems. I'll read two more for you because I already hit the Stanley Tucci and Josh Gad. The end credit song is by Luca Closer, whose father did the score, and she snuck her song in the end credits scene just to try to like weasel in, and then test audiences liked it, and so it got in.
Oh my god.
And also, I'm just going to read this one word for word because it's mostly a quote. They were talking about how to introduce the moon as a character and how it would first communicate with Harper. Quote, the moon will speak to our characters through something that they're completely emotionally involved with. So we decided the communication would go through their own thoughts about their family. And this is something we thought was pretty cool.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Oh, it's beautiful. Favorite scenes? Do you have any?
Oh man. Yeah, the car chase with the evil gingers was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm so sad that Michael Pena died because he was teaching his stepson how to drive. Like,
Mhm.
what's ugh,
Now
so
how is
stupid.
he gonna know how to pilot the sun now?
I love it. Yeah, there was that one. I guess the first encounter with the alien was pretty cool. Uh, um, when they first go into the moon, that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Uh, I love that all of Roland Emmerich's movies have a character that fetishizes the disaster,
Yep.
and that's exactly what Casey was doing that whole sequence.
Mhm.
They have fields. They have engines.
He
They have
was so
ships?
horned up at everything.
I was right.
I also like I'm not actually a doctor. I just thought it looked cool on my business card.
We
And
all
then,
do that.
yeah, obviously. But then they still call him Dr. Casey out of like, you're just giving out honorary degrees because this dude had a wild theory that ended up right.
I actually kind of like the math scenes. I thought those were kind of cool. Like I'm willing to bet that Halle Berry and John Bradley actually did their like research on astronomy and physics and
Mhm.
stuff like that. And it looks like they're actually like really like in it. Like it looks like
Yeah.
they're present and they're professional and
It might have
not
been the only good scene in the movie.
yeah. Who knows if the math is right? Probably not. But I appreciate that they like. I like that about astronaut movies when they just talk math and like, and you don't know what's happening, but you're like, oh, danger, oh, uh, 13 degrees. Is that good? Is that bad? Velocity. That sounds good. Um, Yeah, I like I like the scenes of the big three pretty much just like trying their best in the rocket ship to act well. Um,
Mhm.
because I love all three actors so much and so it hurt to see them on the scenes on Earth. But when they were in the rocket ship together, I thought those were fun, those were charming. They actually like had something to latch onto, like a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, a lot of it sucks that I have to leave my kids behind, but the mission comes first. Um, I think so taking off in the rocket was cool. Um, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah. All great. I do think the opening scene of the like Toto conversation and the ensuing disaster is better than anything that happened in Cloverfield Paradox. Um, so I'll give credit there, I guess. Uh, I mentioned the kid explaining the whole lore was fantastic. I love the rocket ship taking off too, especially because that's when the Mario hopping is, and it's my favorite shot in the whole movie.
Those guys just die, right? Like they don't even show.
Yeah, they do it, cut away, and then they're fucking dead immediately. Um, That's pretty great. The shot of the rocket going through the like the water spiral was hilarious. And then the finale of John Bradley being told there's more work to do got me more excited than any movie that I've seen this year. And so I have to give a shout out to that as well.
Excellent choice. Yeah.
Mhm.
I really need these sequels, man.
Yeah,
I've
it's
never
a must.
I've never wanted a sequel for a movie I didn't like so much.
Yeah, I'll finish you off with two more fun facts.
Oh,
The
cool.
John Bradley was supposed to use an American accent, and then they're like, no, we're gonna keep you British.
Good. Good.
And then also, you know the shot of the moon coming up from behind Earth?
Yeah.
That one shot got them funding from Cannes.
Amazing.
That's how they
Amazing.
raised $100 million. It was because they had big moons.
Big moon.
Oh, big moon, much money. If you want to watch Moonfall 2, definitely should. I don't know how you could listen to this episode and not be intrigued. It's $6 pretty much everywhere, but I guarantee it'll be free if you wait like 2 days, because
Yeah.
I don't think many people are buying this one. But YouTube, Amazon Prime, Google Play, the usual spots to rent movie for $6. Anything you want to say to the people before we we get our celestial bodies out of here?
Yeah, please help us go support our online petition to get Moonfall 2 happening. Link in bio.
We should actually start one. This needs to happen.
We're gonna be reviewing like Men next week, and like it's like really legit Alex Garland sci-fi. And please go support our Moon 2.
Start our Moonfall 2 Electric Boogaloo campaign.
Oh, amazing. Alrighty. Thank you for doing this, Jared.
Thank you for sitting through it with me. I'm glad, because I pitched this movie as an option for this week, and then I had second thoughts, and I'm glad you convinced me to stick to it, because it was worth the adventure, kind of.
Yeah, definitely. Alrighty, audience. We love you. Goodbye.